Hi, Dr. Tochi here with today's dream interpretation, which I thought was rather interesting. Okay. Young man came to divination, excuse me, and he wanted to know why he kept dreaming of being eaten alive. There were variations he was getting on this dream. Now, some of the dreams he was the one being eaten alive, and some of the other dreams he was seeing other people he knew who were being eaten alive. Okay. It wasn't very specific who was doing the eating, but he was getting eaten and these other people were getting eaten. And I asked and I said, okay, so when you say eaten, was it like there was a bite? You know, the way you'd bite into a piece of goat meat, or the way you bite into the thigh of a chicken, you know, that kind of thing. And he said the eaters were invisible, but all of them who were affected by this eating were kind of shredded. You know, they started looking like shredded meat. And they were they had their reddish fluids all over them. You know what I mean by that. We have to be careful about these platforms. So they were covered in their red fluids, and they were shredded. Okay, but they were still alive, which was interesting. And so we did a cowrie shell divination on that one. Long story short, what was happening was that um, he and his coworkers were being overworked. And they were being overworked for no just cause. Okay, what do I mean by no just cause? That doesn't mean that they weren't getting paid, but they were working under what looked like slave conditions. Okay, and so they felt like they were being vampirized. You know, their needs were not being met. Their voices were not being heard, and there was just this constant draining. They were not allowed. When that came up, I started asking him about his work conditions, and at his workplace, they had to get permission to use the bathroom. They had to get permission to talk to each other. They had to get permission to step out and take a phone call. Matter of fact, they weren't even allowed to take phone calls, okay? It had to be like an emergency situation before they were allowed to take the phone call. They were working, or at least he was working, in a very highly restrictive work environment. Um, they were not allowed to talk back at their managers or supervisors. They were being threatened at every turn. If you do this, we'll fire you. If you do that, we'll fire you. If you do this, we'll write you up. If you do that, we'll write you up. We'll give you a card. We'll do this. We'll do this. So there was just that constant being put under stress in this workplace. And he was saying that the amount of pay he was getting didn't in no way justified what he was going through at that workplace. Um, so it was more like a pharaoh and pharaoh situation, and I do have a video on my YouTube. It's a free video called "Is There a Pharaoh Over Your Life?" And so there's a ritual for handling that kind of thing, which I recommended to him to go watch and perform. Because there are people who work under pharaoh-like conditions at work. Okay, and they're like the Israelites saying, "Let me go, I want to go," And I do understand there are people just like this young man who really depend on the wages they get from this work. So it's not easy for them to just get up and go find another job, because he was calling from a country where unemployment is very high. It's in the double digits. Okay. So I did recommend he do that ritual for the if there's a pharaoh over my head. Also, did a divination to tell him what his spiritual element is. And remember that a spiritual element is not the same as an astrological or zodiacal element, because I have people, even despite the fact that I've made two videos explaining the differences, I still have people saying, oh, yeah, I'm a water element because I'm a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. No, sir. No, ma'am. That is not what we mean by spiritual element. Your spiritual element has nothing to do with your zodiac sign. It has nothing to do with your astrological sign. Again, go to my YouTube channel. I have free videos that explain that. Your spiritual element is not the same as your astrological sign element. I repeat, because even after I said that, you have people in the comment section of these videos saying, oh, yeah, you just confirmed what I know. Yeah, I'm an Aries, so I am fire sign. I don't know why people don't listen and they hear what they want to hear. Anyway, I digress. So, I told him to I think he did. We did his astrolog. We did his element. It was an earth element, so I did recommend that he do the ritual, free yourself from bondage using earth, and also bless yourself using earth. And those two free videos are also on my YouTube channel, the Dr. Tochi channel. And so that was that. So again, this was a very interesting consultation to have. I very much enjoyed it, and hopefully he will do what was recommended and gain his freedom, his sanity, and his peace of mind. Remember, I do have a website at tochi.us where you can get many products and services. I've got spiritual practice coaching there. I've got divinations, consultations, books, courses, products, just name it. Everything to help you on your spiritual journey so that it is practical and can help you solve the problems that you may have in your life.